Hi again, Kirby here from Grace Counseling Center, and this time we're rolling out our series on marriage and relationships. Now, this time in Grace Counseling, I deal with the couples here, but that's not always the case since my role is simply to cater to the couples who request a male therapist, right? So I also do marriage counseling and couples counseling, but we usually the default counselors are our females like Rachel, like Cherry. So they're the ones who are the Gutman approach people. Yeah. So our default is to provide a female therapist for couples, and the reason for this one is that this is usually the preferred gender of the wives and of the females. But there are some chosen few who request for a male therapist, and that's where I start stepping in. So again, I won't be as active as our female counselors here. So don't ever say that there's no gender issues in counselors, man, and in counseling, right? I get discriminated on, man. So sometimes the wives and the females actually tell me to my face that I prefer a female counselor, a female therapist. They're nice in saying it. So thank you for the grace. Thank you for being nice on this one. And I do understand there's tons of things that females are really, truly, truly, truly not comfortable telling their male counterparts, their male therapists, sorry. Yeah. So especially for sexual stuff, sexual habits, sexual expressions, and more of those private things that females talk about one another. Such yeah. So we're not gonna go through it. So more or less just setting that at the table. So for now, we're here to talk about marriage and relationships. I'm starting off the series and I'm digressing already. The first title, I believe, is in about concepts and categories, right? So let's slip in something more about cognition here, right? The concepts of categories. Why are we dealing with this right now? Because one of the basic things we do in relationship counseling is to make sure that we're dealing with duos here for now, right? So husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. So these relationships. I have come across relationships of same-sex relationships sitting here, and it's the same principles. And it's always first and foremost would always be the communication, and communication. And when we talk about communication, we go down to the very basics of definitions. So check. This is the lesson for today. Free lesson. Check the concepts. Check the concepts. Now, why is this? Because all fights and okay, most fights and most conflicts within a relationship is simply born about by miscommunication. I say this carefully. Most fights, check it out, there's going to be a form of miscommunication there. It is not an issue of love. It's not an issue of feelings for your partner or loyalty. It's not an issue of those things. If you look closely and pause and analyze why we're fighting so much, miscommunication would be there. And when you a form of miscommunication is the mismatch in concepts. So let me see. So what and the end result for this one is we want people to clarify concepts so we can adjust with one of our concepts. Now, what do you mean by concepts? This is the first thing we do, especially in pre-marriage preparations, right? When we're talking about concepts, the first thing I ask the couple one by one. So the guy, the husband to be and the wife to be. First thing I check on them is what is marriage to you? What is marriage to you? And again, if you're a couple and you haven't gone for pre-marriage counseling, worse, if you're a married couple and you haven't been to marriage counseling, after seeing this video, at least check with your partner. Just check if you're in the same channel. That what is marriage to you? What does it mean to be married? And people will have different answers. It's not a probably it's because of gender as well, but even for guys, we have different concepts of what marriage is. So I'll give you an example. For some people, marriage is just the beginning. So for some people, marriage is the end. We live happily ever after. That alone is a basic concept which you should check out. And for some people, another example here, uh, even for me and my wife, right? So what I believe here when I say marriage for me is that I have an image of marriage. This is only my concept of marriage. Please take note of two people standing side by side, looking at the same direction, right? So we can work things in parallel. We can go through things in parallel. You spend your day in your workplace. I spend my day in my workplace, and there's very little chance I'll have time to SMS you during the day or to have a phone call with you, even from the morning to the night. However, for the wife, the concept of marriage would be I married you so we can be together forever. Doesn't sound creepy, yeah, but we'll sleep together, wake up together, have breakfast together, travel to work together, and my wife knows that I get stressed out from that one. So clarify the concepts. Most fights, most conflicts come from the miscommunication born about by the different concepts. So the next question I ask in marriage pre-marriage preparations, if you come here, we'll deal with this one. I will ask the guy, what for you is a wife? I'm asking the guy, and I'll ask the girl, what for you is a husband? Now, why is this? Because concepts, besides contributing or influencing you on the present, on how you interpret your present experience, concepts will also dictate your expectations. For me, a wife is someone who will supply me limitless money. It's always about money, man, right? So that's my concept of wife. For the wife, the husband is the partner or the friend who should always be there for you. Now, I don't think husbands will see it that way. All right, yeah. So again, just some examples. So these things have to be clarified in an adult manner. So check out these concepts, right? So concepts will lead to expectations. So again, so for marriage, what is marriage for you? So in pre-marriage preparations, there will be a lot of scenarios that we will present to check the concepts. Let's say, for example, when what is the how will finances pop out or be how will finances be handled between husband and wife once they are married, right? So you will have to settle this out. So if you're in a relationship right now, you can clarify. So when there's conflicts and you start fighting again, right? So sometimes usually the guys are caught off guard and they just what just happened, right? So we're just out on a date. Not now we're not speaking. So you backtrack on what has happened and you can actually pinpoint the point where the two of you fork, and forked. And it's usually a misconception, different channels, right? So say for example, what is a dinner date for you? For the guy, dinner date on a weeknight is 1 hour of strictly 1 hour of dinner. Hi, hello, bye, man. I'm off to work. But for the female, a dinner date is hey, it's a special evening. Even on a weeknight, it's a special evening. We eat for 1 hour, yes, but you'll have desserts afterwards, you'll have coffee afterwards, and then we have chit chat and stuff. So again, what will happen here is that most guys will zip their mouths and just go along the flow until they start resenting the person, right? So again, and the female will sense this and she will react accordingly. She will resent the guy, he will resent her back, and these are when things start piling up and the real conflict pops up in a misspoken word when there's an actual trigger, right? So clarify the concepts. So that's it for now, right? There's a matter of meeting someone in the same channel. You clarify the concepts, and this is how to do it, right? So just some tip for this one. The general guideline for this one is an adult communication, so you get the consent of the other party, right? So adult communication and you get the consent. So the biggest tip I can give when you're clarifying, of course, you simply have to ask, right? When you said you're free on Saturday, what does that mean? Honestly, because when people say, hey, I'm free on I'm free on Saturday, the thing that will come to my mind, oh, this person can commit the entire day to me. But for that person, I'm free for a huge chunk of the day. So this one will warp up the different expectations of the two parties and conflicts will start arising. So clarify. So what do you mean by free? Right? So nowadays I even have to clarify with my wife, what do you mean by a quick lunch? because normally that's when the stress comes in. She will say quick lunch, but it will turn to 2 hours for her. That's a quick lunch. So yeah, I'm never gonna tell my wife that I have these videos. So the tip for this one is you simply ask as an adult, not in a confrontational way. That what do you mean by this? Huh? You're always wrong. You're always lying. So don't turn it to a power struggle. And that's what a big tip. Don't turn it to a power struggle. Uh, I would suggest, since the two of you are in a relationship, you expect the position of love. What does that mean? That you know the two of you love each other. You know that the other party doesn't mean any harm. They don't mean any malice. It's just a miscommunication. So you're just trying to clear things up. I'm not here to challenge your concept. I'm not here to make you agree with my concepts. I'm not here to make you adapt my concept. Yeah, by all means, breakfast for you is still 10 a.m. Breakfast for me is always 6 a.m. But we do have to clarify with this so we can agree on many things. Especially, again, I'm going back to the pre-marriage counseling thing. Uh, Pre-marriage counseling. That what does it mean to live together, right? What does it mean to live after marriage? This is Asia, so we do have to talk about in-laws, and we have to talk about families, right? So and there are a lot of people who jump the gun, man, without settling all these financial stuff, without settling all these family issues. All right. So please clarify with your partner in the position of love. That's the biggest takeaway for this one. Yeah. So don't turn it to a power struggle as you enjoy the relationship. So now you guys are free on Saturday. What does that mean? What time are you free from what time to what time? I need your help. Please help me. Now, please clarify. What do you mean by help? Because last time I tried to help, you just scolded me. So now I move away. So clarify these concepts first, so you know what a boyfriend is to the other party, what they mean by a boyfriend. What is a girlfriend? What does it mean to be, oh, in Singapore, we use the word confirm. What does it mean to be confirmed? What does it mean to be exclusive? So this sort of thing. Yeah. So all right. So your assignment for now is you can do I call it a fights analysis. Go back to your past fights. Some people are afraid to dig this up. Go back to your past fights and just ask yourself, two people who love each other, genuinely care for one another, and they end up World War III. What happened there? So backtrack if you have the scripts. All the bets are. I'm telling you, there's going to be a miscommunication from differences in concept there. Yeah. So once you settle this out, you clarify with the other party, and you can stop blaming each other. That it's not I'm right, you're wrong, or I'm sorry, I'm wrong, you're right. It's just the communication that caught the two of us. So the two of you were a victim of miscommunication. So you're still a team, and you're just here to set the system straight so it doesn't happen again in the future. All right. So go ahead, check, analyze your fights from the past in a loving manner, right? And at the same time, clarify some concepts that you never brought up before because you think it's war if you bring it up with your partners. But it's healthy that you come up with it right now and clarify some stuff. So with this one, I bid you God bless in your relationship. Enjoy one another, right? And let's all deal with things as adults. Then I can say, okay, I agree with this. It's actually a good idea. There. So recognize our differences and accept this relationship as a loving one. All right. In Jesus' name, thank you. Bye bye.